I hope you all will be fine. And this is the very true time and tough time to survive. So it's my request to each and everyone, be at home, clean yourself very nicely and stay safe at your. Today I will start chapter number 3, working on Windows 7. First of all, I will tell you that what is Windows 7. Windows 7 is an operating system, right? And the thing is that software is divided into two parts. First part is application software, another part is system software. These two parts are there. Software, application software, another is system software. So this Windows 7 is an operating system, and operating system is a part of, it is an example of system software. So today we will cover all the topics what I have written, mentioned over here on the board. That is the first number. We will go on the first number, the desktop and the taskbar. First is the desktop and the taskbar. Second is jump list. Third is setting and date and time. Fourth is hiding the taskbar. Fifth is moving, resizing the taskbar. Sixth number, Windows Explorer. Seventh one is search box. 8th is libraries, 9th is screensaver, and 10th desktop gadgets. 11th is working with files. And now I will go for each and every topics with explanation. So I will go for topic number 1, the desktop and the taskbar. Okay children, so I will start the first topic, that is desktop and the taskbar. You can see the picture over there, that is the picture of desktop, in which you can see icons written over there, desktop written over there, taskbar written over there. What is desktop? How can we find it? That is the desktop. Desktop is a blank area given over there. And icons means what? What are the different images kept over there? The pictures kept over there. That all pictures are icons. And this is the bottom line, bottom bar is known as taskbar. Our second topic is jump list. When you right click on the Paint program, when you right click on the Paint programs icon or an Open Programs button on the taskbar, a list appears. This is called a jump list. Jump list means this is the list on which number of programs kept over there, through which you can directly open the program instantly. It means a jump list shows a list of files, folder, etc. recently opened by the programs. Means whatever we have recently worked on the program, recently opened the program, that will be shown in the jump list. Clicking on the file's name opens the file. Whenever you click on the file's name present in the jump list, that opens a file directly from there. From the jump list, you can do many other things. You can pin a file to the jump list, pin a program to the taskbar, unpin a program from the taskbar, and so on. Now our second topic is the jump list. So what is jump list? When you right click on a pinned program, icon or an Open Programs button on the taskbar, a list appears. This is called a jump list. A jump list shows a list of files, folder, etc. recently opened by the program. So I will show you what is a jump list. Let's open the folder. See, you can see the recent files. It means that jump list carry the recently opened file. So you can see the number of files already recently we all have opened. So this is the jump list. Okay, I will show you how to pin a program or how to unpin a program. So you all can see over here, this is a pen like picture made over here, that is pinned program, that is used for pinned program. You can see the desktop is pinned here, downloads is pinned here, documents is pinned here, pictures is pinned here. So these four icons, these four folders are pinned over here. So I'll show you. Let's unpin the documents. How we can do this? Just right click over there, and there is an option that is unpin from a quick access. So when we click on the unpin from a quick access program, what will happen? The desktop will disappear from the quick access program. Desktop is not present over here. So this is the process how we can unpin a program. And now I will show you how to pin a program. So you can see the left hand side, number of programs, number of folders are there. We can go to the document again from the left side. Right click over there on the document, and then wherever you want to pin, you can pin in the start also, you can pin to the quick access also. So I would like to do in the same place from where I have removed. I want to pin the document in the quick access. So I will click the pin to quick access. So what happened? You can see again the document came here in the quick access. So this is the way how to pin and unpin any program from their own locations. We can shift one program or pin one program from one location to another location. We can pin it in taskbar also. We can pin it in programs, different programs also, different folders also. Like this we can do in any other places. Okay, then we all have studied about jump list. So jump list of the Windows Explorer shows recently opened folder. The main definition of jump list is the jump list of the Windows Explorer shows recently opened folder. Now we will go for the next topic, that is setting date and time. How can we set date and time? We will go for the steps. The date and time can be seen in the notification area. You can see the notification area here. You can see the notification area. The date and time is showing in my system here. Now in the picture you will see two pictures. How to set date and time over here. So I will explain that I will explain one by one the number of steps we have to take to change the date and time or set any date and time. So first step is click on the part that shows the date and time. Click on the part, you will go for that. Here is the date and time showing. If I will click on that, what will happen? This type of icon will appear. This type of picture will appear. Icon not, just like one window will open, and here you will see the mark of watch. Then this next step is click on the change date and time setting. Change date and time setting. So where is the change date and time setting? Here is the change date and time settings. The date and time dialog box open here. When you will click this change date and time settings, you will go to the exact location where you can change the date and time and you can set it. The next step is in the date box. In the date box, use the arrow to change the month and year. In the date box, use the arrow to change the months and year. You have to you have to use the arrow to move the number of years, number of months, through which you can change the number of months and number of years. Click on the date to set it. After selecting the particular date and month or year, you have to set it. It means click on a date to set it. Now in the box under the clock there is a box. Type in the time you want to set. Whatever time, the exact time that is going on, you have to type, you have to write the proper timing over there, and you can also use the arrow to set the time. You can use the arrow for the movement of time or numbers if you want to put some there. Once you are done, click OK to save the changes. After all the necessary changes done, then later at last you have to click on OK button, and whatever time you wanted to change, you have changed in that area, that particular date and time settings, it will be changed on that time, or new time will come on your notification area. Now we will study here about hiding the taskbar. How can we hide the taskbar? The taskbar is usually found at the bottom of the screen and remains visible even when the windows are opened. You can hide the taskbar when it is not in use. So we can remove the taskbar, we can change the place of taskbar from left to right, up to down, or top to bottom. Like this we can change the place of taskbar. So first of all, here hiding the taskbar, we can go through the hiding the taskbar. So to hide the taskbar, we have to follow some steps. So right click on an empty space on the taskbar. From the context menu, select properties. The taskbar and the start menu properties dialog box opens. Under the taskbar tab, check the box for auto hide the taskbar, then click OK. Now I will show you how to change the place of taskbar. So to hide the taskbar, first we put the mouse pointer on the blank area of the taskbar. Then we will right click over there. What will happen? There will be a taskbar settings. So at the bottom you will see the taskbar setting, and we will open the taskbar setting here. Now you can see these all number of settings are there, came over here to format the taskbar or make changes on the taskbar. So there is the first thing is that the log the taskbar. If you click over there, your taskbar will be logged. It cannot be moved from one place to another. If you want to change the location of the taskbar, first you have to unlock the taskbar. By default, the taskbar always comes locked. So you can see that we have locked the taskbar. So if we have to change the settings of taskbar or changes the place of taskbar, if we want to change the place of taskbar, what we will do, first we have to unlock the taskbar. Now second option, if we will do, what will happen, automatically hide the taskbar in the desktop mode. Third one is automatically hide the taskbar in tablet mode. Use small taskbar button. Use pick to preview the desktop when you move your mouse to the show desktop button at the end of the taskbar. So we will do Here you can see that the taskbar location on the screen. Here you can set the location of the taskbar. It is already given that at the bottom. It is kept at the bottom. If we will click over there, number of options will come. If you want to put the taskbar in left, what will happen? See, let's see. Our taskbar came over here in the left side of the screen. Now again we will right click over there. You will get the settings of the you can go from here also for the settings of the taskbar, but we have already opened the settings of the taskbar. Now we can change the place from here. Let's go for the top one. What will happen? Our taskbar will be shown at the top. Now again I will change the position of the taskbar. We will put the right one. Then again it moved to the right part. Again I will keep my taskbar at the bottom. So I will click on the bottom. And this way you will able to shift your taskbar from left to right, top to bottom. Now come to the part of Windows Explorer. You can see over here about Windows Explorer. Windows Explorer is a file management system. It means that all the management of files which is kept on our Windows, it is present in the Windows operating system, that can be changed or moved from one place to another, or we can work with the help of all the folders files kept in the Windows that is on our computer. To open Explorer, click on this order. Okay, so first how we will open? First we will go for the start, then all programs, then accessories, then Windows Explorer. This is the way to open a Windows Explorer. But one more option is there. You can also click on the Windows Explorer shortcut. So we have these shortcut. This is the icon you can see here. This one is the icon of Windows Explorer. So we can explore our Windows from this icon, clicking on this icon. So we have this icon over here in the taskbar. You can see over here. This is an icon. So we will click on that. The Windows Explorer will be open. Now you can see that is the Explorer, Windows Explorer that can be shown. Explorer, File Explorer you can see here. So it means that everything, whatever present, whatever kept in the Windows you can find out over here. At the right side, at the left side, you can see number of options kept over there. That is the desktops, downloads, pictures, documents, Creative Cloud files, about PC. That is in this PC. What you will find, number of drives. Suppose you can see this is Windows C drive. You can see there are number of drives, new volume E drive, new volume F drive. Whatever drive has been distributed for Windows, a number of drives can be shown. You can find out from this side, or that is the Windows Explorer. Here you can see how the Windows has been explored over here. Means everything you can see, whatever kept on the Windows. It means in our operating system. So, and you can see these two arrow are there, these two arrows are there, that is left arrow and right arrow. These two are counted in a navigation pane. It means the navigation pane shows all the drives, folder, etc. on the computer, and clicking on the left button you will go to the previous location, and clicking on the right button you will go to the next location. Now I will show you that how our navigation buttons can work. So see the left button. If I will move back or click on that button, what will happen? It will send me just one location back. So if I am giving back arrow, means clicking on the back arrow, I will be going to the next, means previous location. That is book 5D, books, new volume F, this PC. It means our location is counted inside this PC. Then again new volume F is there. Then again books are there. Then again books 5D. So this is the location. When we will come again, we will click on the left navigation button. What will happen? Again we came back one more location. Now I will go to the, again I want to move to the next location. I will click the right button. Then we came again back to our new location. Now again I will click. Then again we have moved one more steps right. So this is the way we can move left and right through navigation pane, and we will be shifted from one location to another. Now our next topic is the search box. By using search box, you all understand what is search. The search that we have to find out something from a folder, or suppose we have to find out one file from any folder, from any location. If you don't know where you have kept your file in the whole system, it will be very hard to find out. It will be very hard to find out your file from the Windows. So what we will do for searching, nothing to worry. Just if you have to find, suppose your file name is written with C, okay, then what will you do? Suppose in this PC you know that you have kept your file in this PC in some of the folders. So there are number of folders kept over there. That is 3D object, desktop is there, documents is there, downloads is there, music is there. So but you don't know where you have kept your file. So what you will do, search this go for the search in this PC that is kept in that is present in the left corner, that is present in the not left corner, that is present in the right corner. So here you will get the search option, and now you want to find out the file names that started from C. So I have write one letter, that is C over here. Now see, just I have written C in the search box. What happened? Whatever the files that is started from C, or maybe C is coming in between, that is showing over here. It means all the files which is started from C or coming in or C is coming in between of the words, that will be shown over here. So you can see number of files over there. So that is started from C. First one is started from C. Second is also started from C. Third is also started from C. Means you can see number of files is showing over here that is started from C. And afterwards you can see the C is coming in between and highlighted over there the letter C. So this is the way how you can find any file in your folder or in your whole system. Now libraries come over here. What do you understand by libraries? What is this libraries? In a simple way we can understand the libraries where we keeps books or something that should be in organized manner. Same way in computer also we are keeping some documents in libraries. So what is a library? A library is a user defined collection of folders. It means that some folders, it is a collection of different folders that is defined by user. You can choose the folders to include in a library. If you want to add some folder in a library, you can choose from any of the folder from your system and include in your library. We usually include folders containing the same kind of files in a library. We have to keep same kind of files in one folder, no? So that's why we are collecting same kind of files to form a library folder. Windows 7 comes with 4 default libraries. It means that it has 4 default libraries. Libraries means a place where we have by default 4 documents, 4 things, 4 folders type documents. That is, the first one is documents, second is music, third is picture, and fourth one is videos. All the libraries are listed under libraries in the navigation pane of the Explorer windows. Now we can see how to include folder in a library. How can we include folder in a library? To make a library feature keep track of your folders, you have to include folders in the libraries. If you want to keep track on your folder, whatever your important folder has been kept, if you want to keep track on that, you have to include these type of folders in libraries. You can add a folder such as, for example, it is written here, vacation photos to a library picture as follows. Right click on the folders icon. Select include in library from the menu. Then select the library you want to add the folder to pictures. If you want to add some folders, select the folder, then right click on that. You will get include in library option. And by clicking on the include in library option, you will be, it means what? The folder you want to keep in the library, it will be shown over included in the library. So this is the way to include a folder in a library. Now next option is how to create a new library. Create a new library in the same way how we are adding in the library or including folder in a library. We have one more option for creating a library. How you will able to create a library, let me show you. And in this picture you can see, if you want to create a new library, just right click on any of the folder and there you will get in include in a library. There you will get at the, when you will click on the include in library, one menu will appear over here. At the last it is written create new library. From this line, from this option, you will able to create a new library. Now you can see the quick access. You can see the quick access written here, written over here. So this quick access is a same way we are defining the library. It is just like this, and the selected folder that has been kept in the quick access, that is desktop, downloads, pictures, documents. These all are library documents that is present in a quick access library. So we can remove the library documents or folder from the library, and we can add documents or folder in the library. So let's see how to create a library. For creating a library, let me create one folder, and I will explain how to create a folder. So to create a folder, just right click on any of the blank area of desktop. So I'm right clicking over here. You will get the new option over here. Now new option, when you will go for the new option, one menu will appear, and in menu you will find folder option. When you will click on the folder, one new folder will be created over here. This is a way how to create new folder. So I will rename this folder. How I will rename this folder? Just click once. Where we have to change the name, that becomes highlighted. And now if I will remove the name, I will rewrite the name. So this way I am rewriting. That I am writing VVM. This is my VVM folder. So this is the folder, and one more folder I am making same way. I am writing the name VVM1. VVM1. Two folders I have created. Now our two folders we have created. Now I will be including this library in library. VVM folder, I want to include VVM folder in library. How can I do? Just click over there, right click over there. What will happen? There will be option, include in library option will come over here. Now these all the camera roll, documents, music, pictures, saved pictures, all these things are included in library. If you want to include in library in any of these folder, you can add. So I will put in the documents. Now you can see you are directly came over here. You are directly come over here. That is the document in the library's document, and your library has been created. That is VVM. It has been kept under the document part. Now you can see the VVM folder that we have included in the library, that can be shown in the libraries. This is the part, the libraries. Inside libraries, documents are there, and inside the documents, VVM is included. Now we will create a library. So what we will do? We will go to the created folder. So this is our created folder, and I want to create new library of this. So this way, just click on the right button. You will get options of creating a library. This inside the include in library, you will get the last option, that is create new library. When you will go for the create new library, what will happen? See, one library is created here, and whatever you want to create or put folder inside this library you can put. Suppose I'll show you how to put in this libraries. I'm creating one file over here or one folder over here. Again I'm creating folder named ABC, A, B and C. Now I want to put this ABC folder in VVM1 library. How I will put? I'll just right click over there, go for the include in library. You can see VVM1 is showing over here because we have just created this library and it is showing in the library list. So if I will click over there, what will happen? The ABC folder will come inside the VVM library. I am clicking over there. You can see inside the VVM library, you will get ABC folder. So this is the way we can create a library or include a library. Now we will cover the part of views. That views means how it can be appear. It means how the icons appears on the desktop or in any folder, the appearance of anything, any file, any folder. So how we will change the view of icons? Let's see. Just right click over there. There is an option of view. Right click on the desktop. In the blank area, view option will come over here and you will see large icon, medium icon, small icons. In this way you can change the views. Suppose I am clicking on the large icon. What will happen? The all icons become little bit larger than the earlier. So it is just like that. If we will click on the small icon, what will happen? It becomes quite smaller according to the pictures which is coming earlier. Now I'm again changing the size of the icons. You can set the icons size as your choice, as per your choice, by changing the views. Suppose that is small, medium and large. And here sort by is also there. You can sort the icons according to their names in alphabetic terms, according to their size. What is the creation of the folder and files in the arranged way of the timing of the creation. Item type, what is the type of the each and every folder and files. According to item type also we can organize, and according to the date modified. These all four options are there to change the views or change the location of the icons according to their name, size, item type, date modified. Now we will move to the screensaver. You can find over here, it's written on the screen. What is screensaver? Let's see. When the computer is on, okay, when the computer is on but idle means not in use. It means it has been kept idle or not in use suppose for half an hour, 15 minutes, like this. Then what will happen to your screen of the monitor? The display on the monitor remains unchanged. Display on the monitor, whatever the modern monitor is displaying, it will remain unchanged. This damages the screen of old CRT monitors. The continuously what is playing on the screen, what is coming on the screen, if it will continue to exposing, what will happen? This will damage the screen of old CRT monitors. To save the screen from damage, a program called Screensaver is used. Why Screensaver is used? Screensaver is used to save the screen from damage, a program. If the display on the monitor remains unchanged, if the display, suppose whatever the part of the video or audio or whatever the pictures are displaying, what will happen? The monitor remains unchanged for a given time. It means if the display on the monitor remains unchanged for the given time, this program starts showing different pictures or moving pattern on the screen. If our system, our computer is not working for some times or sit idle, then we are using Screensaver to protect the screen of the monitor, that is CRT monitor. It is display on the monitor remain unchanged for a given time. If the display of the monitor remain unchanged for the given time, this program is called this program starts showing different pictures or moving pattern on the screen. It's a screensaver is when we will start the screensaver, it will show different types of pictures or moving patterns on the screen. Even though the modern monitor do not need screensaver, even though the modern monitors do not need screensaver. If they don't need, then also it will show moving pattern on the screen. Windows 7 comes with the screensaver option. Windows 7 comes with the screensaver options. There are options we have in Windows 7. We can create or we can select the different pictures or moving pattern according to our choice to use in screensaver. How can we set a screensaver? Just right click on the desktop, select personalize from the menu that appears. First we have to right click on the desktop, then we will go for the personalize option. Then we have to select screensaver and there click down arrow of the screensaver list and choose a screensaver. For the 3D text screensaver, you can set a text that will appear. This is the way you can set a screensaver. Now I will show you how to add a screensaver in our computer. Let's see. Right click. Whenever we right click on the desktop, what will happen? You will get personalize option. How to create a screensaver, how to add a screensaver to our screen when it will sit idle for a long time. We have to give a screensaver videos or moving pictures, some patterns. For that, right click on the desktop, then go for personalize option. Then go for personalize option. What will happen? There is a lock screen. We will go for the lock screen and there we will move upwards and we will get screensaver settings. Now we will click over there. You can see here screensaver is written and none is selected. It means we have not started the screensaver. We have not selected any choice for the screensaver. Now we will click over there. There will be a drop down menu and you have to select 3D text, blank, or whatever the option will be provided or given in the list. You can select any of these. So first you select, suppose I am selecting 3D text. So our screen, when our screen becomes idle, no, The same screen will appear when our system becomes idle. At that time, this what's it pictures, this pattern will run on our screen. That is the screensaver, and in this way we have to apply. After that, we have to apply the settings and then click OK. Then our screensaver will be set. Now you can see how our Windows is showing the screensaver. So this is the way we can set the screensaver. Now we will study about the desktop gadgets. What is desktop gadget? I will show you. Desktop gadgets are small program. It is just like a small program that do tasks like showing the time or giving weather. Suppose if we want to keep the timing, we want to see the timing on the screen at the left corner of the screen. So how we will put this screen? How we will put this timing on the screen while working some other areas, while working on other documents? Timing and weather or new updates that should be shown on the screen while working in other document. So these things are doing by desktop gadgets. So what is desktop gadgets? Desktop gadgets are small programs that do tasks like showing the time or giving weather and new updates. These programs keep running on the desktop while we work on other things. So we can see the latest information without stopping our work. This is the property of gadgets, desktop gadgets, that can be run all over the time while using the system or without stopping our work. We can see the latest information, latest time and weather information or new updates that can be shown at the top of the or somewhere some part of the system without stopping our work. That is the gadget. Now here you can see how can you put gadgets on the desktop. So the thing is that we know what is gadgets, but how we can put gadget on the desktop? So this is the process we have to follow for putting the gadgets on the desktop. First, we have to right click on the desktop, select the gadget from the menu. When you will right click on the blank area of the desktop, you will get the gadgets option over there. You will see the number of gadgets in the windows that opens. You can see the picture here. The gadgets available in Windows 7. These all are the gadgets available in Windows 7. You can also drag it to the desktop. How can you put on the desktop? Just click on any of the gadgets and drag it from this area on the desktop. And this is the way you can place the gadget on the desktop. Once the gadget is placed on the desktop, you can drag and place it anywhere you want. Wherever you want, you can place the gadget on the desktop. Placing the mouse pointer on the gadget bring up a few buttons like the close button. Gadgets that are on the desktop can be made visible on the top of the windows of other open program. It can be by using these things. You can see some options are here of the gadgets of clock. Can you see this? These are the things we have to. We all are having options over here. To do this, right click on the gadgets. To do this, right click on the gadgets and select always on the top of the menu. You have to select the option always on the top. That will help you to keep the gadget on the top of your windows. This shows the gadget on the top of any open window. Whenever you open any window, the gadget will be shown at the top of the window. It lets us view the information given by the gadget as we walk. Calendar, clock, feed, headlines, and weather and gadgets are gadgets that gives us information. Gadgets like pictures, puzzles, and slideshow are meant for entertainment. Now we will see here how to move any files or folder from one place to another, or we can shift it from one place to another area. So we will learn about that. Suppose this is the folder that is named ABC. So what we will do, I want to shift this ABC folder from here to here. How we will do? We can do, let's see how we can do. Just right click on the ABC folder. Then cut this folder, select the cut option. Then I want to paste over here. I want to put over here. Then right click over here and then paste here. What will happen? From here, ABC folder removed from here and shifted over here. From one place to another, it has been shifted. So this is the way we can cut and paste a folder. We can move a folder from one place to another. That is the moving of the folder. Now we have seen how we have moved one folder from one place to another. Now we will see how to copy one folder from one place to another. Suppose this is VVM1 folder. I want to copy over here. Copy this folder from here and put it somewhere else in some other folder in other file. So first what I will do, just right click on that folder. There is an option of copy. Click over there. It means we have copied that folder. Now I will go for this PC. There are number of folder. There is a F drive. I will click over there and I will paste here. Right click on the blank area and paste option is there. Click over there. You will get here VVM1 folder. There is a copy of VVM1 folder, but it has been not replaced from the desktop. It has not been replaced from the desktop. So we can see, let's see, we can see VVM1 folder is present here also, and in the new volume folder VVM1 here also it is present. It means both the places VVM1 folder are present. That is, only we have copied that folder from that area and we have we have not shifted it. We have just copied it, one copy of that folder, and keep it there. Keep it in this folder. This is the way we are copying that folder. This is the last part of my video and this is the ending part. And we have covered all the topics from 1 to 11 and hope you all have understand 1 to 10, 11 topics very clearly. If you have any doubts, please go through my video and learn each and every topic once more so that you will understand in much better way. At last, I would like to say thank you to all and stay safe at your home and learn more.